going on, third grade? It's Mr. Nichols coming at you again. This time, instead of our read aloud, we're going to be going over some strategies and questions from our math packet that you got last week. So I'm going to show you some of the work that you should be doing to solve your answers, so you know you find the right answer, and if you make a mistake, you're able to go back and find where you made the mistake. So we're going to work with counting money, comparing money, and making change. For both, we're going to know how you have to be able to identify your coins. So you need to know what a quarter is, what a dime is, what a nickel is, and sometimes what a $50 is, that 50-cent piece. I'm going to start with, it's in like page 4 of your math packet. It's going to look like this. I'm going to focus on question 3. So you're going to compare two amounts of money. We're going to compare that one, and we're going to compare that one, and we're going to have to put a greater than, less than, or equal to sign in between those. So first thing we should do whenever we get a money question, we want to show our work, is I'm going to draw this out on my scratch paper. I don't have scratch paper. I'm going to use my whiteboard. So I'm going to start with the first amount, and I'm going to draw those coins, the values, and count on underneath each of those. So I'm going to look at the first one. Now, obviously, we do have to know what the coin amount equals. So that's one thing you do have to practice, is knowing that a dime equals 10, a nickel equals 5, and a quarter equals 25. So it starts with a dollar. So I'm going to draw, I like to draw my rectangles, okay, and with one in it. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 dimes. So I'm just going to draw 4 circles, and I know a dime is worth 10 cents. So I'm going to write a 10 in each of those. So I know they're worth 10 when I count them. And then the next one is 5. It's a nickel, so there's 3 of those. So I put a 5 in each. Now the paper helps you out a little bit because they already put them in order from greatest amount to least amount. If they weren't in order when you drew this out, you'd want to put the greatest amount of coin first, and then the next amount, and then the next amount down. So quarter, dime, nickel. It makes it a little easier to count. Alright, so now I'm going to just count on underneath each coin. So I'm going to start, I have a dollar. I always like to write that down so I don't forget about it. And then I'm going to start here and go 10. Another 10 is 20, 30, 40. Okay, now I'm going to shift and count by 5s. So 45, 50, and then 55. So I have $1 and I have 55 cents. And we write that like that. So on my paper, and that line right there, I'm going to write $1, 55 cents. So $1. So my next step is I want to draw the next amount, and I want to figure out that value. So I'm just going to switch my colors so I don't get confused. But again, it starts out with that dollar bill, so I'm going to draw, there's my 1, and then I have, these are dimes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know they're hard to see. I think it's a tail side of a dime. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Okay, and then I have 1, 2, 3 pennies. Be careful with those, the head side of the penny and the dime. They kind of look alike because they both have those heads that are similar. But remember, the dime is smaller and it's a different color than the penny. So now I can count on, well, first I have my dollar, then I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then now I count by 1. 61, 62, 63. So it's $1, markers are out, 63 cents. So I'm going to write that on my paper. So $1, 63 cents. And now all I have to do, just like when I compare numbers, the alligator is gonna eat the bigger number. So the bigger value here is the $1.63. So I draw the mouth open towards. So $1.55 is less than $1.63. All right, we're good with that one. I'm going to move on to the next one. Hopefully my board erases for me. Doesn't want to, but we're going to make it. All right, good enough. All right. The next one is going to be the next page in that packet. Looks like this. Okay. It's still a comparing money question. This one doesn't give you the coins. You're going to have to draw the coins just like we just did and put the values inside. So it says which is the greater amount of money. And then it gives you two amounts, $1, 3 nickels and 1 penny, or 6 quarters, 1 dime, and 3 pennies. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to draw it first, okay, count on underneath, and then I'm going to compare those values. So I'm going to start with the first one. It says $1. That one's the easy one to draw. And then 3 nickels. You have to know a nickel is worth 5 cents. So 3, put a 5 in each of those. All right. And then I have 1 penny. Okay. So if I count on, I have $1, and then 5, 10, 15, and then one more is 16. So I have $1.16 for my first value. Now I'm going to do the second one. And I have 6 quarters. And you should know a quarter is worth 25. And then I have 1 dime, that's 10, and then 3 pennies. 1, 2, 3, and they're worth 1. So right away I have 6 quarters, and red flag should go off in your head. You should know 4 quarters equals $1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little box around those 4 quarters because I know that's already $1. All right, now I can count on from the next quarter. So 25, 50, then I'm going to go to 10, so it's 60, 61, 62, and 63. So right here I have $1.63. Really, I knew right when I got to here, 125, that I had more, but just to be safe, I'll do the whole thing and write my value down. So it would be 6 quarters, 1 dime, and 3 pennies for that one. Same thing though. Always draw your coins, write the values, count on underneath. That way if you make a mistake, you'll be able to find it really easily. Okay, and I'm going to erase this one and do one last money problem with you. A good way to practice your money at home is just get some change from your parents, go over counting different amounts, making different amounts. Alright, so this is going to be 2 pages on, so about page 7. It's going to be right here. It says make change at the top. We're going to do Mario buys a bag of peanuts for $3.45. He pays with a $5 bill. Now the directions say find the amount of change. Whenever you are doing money and it wants you to find the amount of change, you need to know that that means you're going to subtract those 2 amounts. Now, when we subtract, the rule is we always put the bigger number on top. Okay, we can't take a bigger number from a smaller number. So, same thing with money. We always want to put the bigger value on top when we subtract. So, if he's buying a bag of peanuts that costs $3.45, he's paying with a $5 bill. Well, $5 is the greater amount. So I'm going to put $5. So the 5, I need to put those 2 zeros here for the cents. Okay, so the bag of peanuts is $3.45. Put my line, make sure I put that subtraction sign because the word change means I'm going to subtract. So now all it is a subtraction problem. Okay, so when I subtract, I always want to start in the tens place. So I'm going to start on the right side, and I'm going to go 0 minus 5. Now again, bing, red flag goes off. If the bottom number is bigger, you have to know you have to go and regroup. If I have 0 of something, I can't take away 5. So I'm going to go to the neighbor. Oh, we have a problem here. It's another 0. So I have to go to that neighbor, and I have to go all the way to 5. Now I know some of you know the trick where you can box it, take away from the whole thing. That's fine. Go ahead and do it. I'm going to go step by step though. So I'm going to go over to the 5. I take 1 away. Okay, and I'm moving that to the neighbor. Okay, I can't just skip this neighbor and move it all the way over here. I have to bring that and put it to the neighbor. Okay, so I'm moving that 10 over, and I like to put it right in front. So I took 1 away, put the 1 in front. So now I know it looks like a 10. All right, still haven't helped this guy out. So I'm going to do it again. Now this is big enough to where I can take 1 and regroup it over here. So take 1 away, move that 1 I took away in front. So now that's a 10. So now all of my top numbers are bigger. Now I'm good to go. I can just subtract from the 1s, the 10s, and the 100s. So 10 minus 5. If you don't know that right away, go ahead, draw a number line, and go ahead and subtract. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. The decimals, I want to carry those down. And then 4 minus 3 is 1. And same thing with the dollar sign. I want to carry that down as well. So the amount of change you should get back when you pay with a $5 bill is $1.55. Now if you want to check yourself to make sure you did it correctly, I can go the other way, and instead of subtracting, I can now add. So I can do $1.55 plus $3.45. And if I do it right, it will equal the same thing as the top. Well, that's all I'm going to do today. So we worked with money. Tomorrow and the next day and the following day, you'll have a different teacher each day giving you a little mini lesson on this week's packet. So today I did a little bit from last week's. Starting tomorrow, we'll be working on the packet you get today. All right, so this is Mr. Nichols checking out. Have a good day, guys.